Today is Thursday, Parashat Re'eh. In the parasha of this week, the Torah tells us, Shamor et chodesh ha'aviv ve'asita pesach ladonai Elohecha. Keep the month of the Aviv. Aviv is springtime. So keep the month of springtime, and you will make Pesach L'Hashem Elokecha. And you'll make the Korban Pesach, the Paschal lamb that you will make as a Korban on Pesach, or you celebrate the holiday of Pesach during the month of the Aviv. Ki b'chodesh ha'aviv, because in the month of the Aviv, of the springtime, Hotziacha Adonai Elohecha miMitzrayim, Hashem took you out of Egypt, Laila, at night when Paro told them, please, you leave the country of Egypt after blocking their exit from Egypt for some time and having them as slaves. What does it mean, keep the month of the springtime or the month of the Aviv? Well, it's a known thing that we go according to a lunar calendar. The lunar calendar has a cycle of every month is 29 days and a half, 29 days and 12 hours, and a certain amount of minutes, about 3/4 of an hour. And since you take 12 months times 29 and a half, if you compare that to the solar cycle of the year, which is 365 days and a quarter, you're going to come up short about 11 days a year. So every year, every 12 months, the dates move 11 days backwards compared to the solar calendar. Well, if you don't do an adjustment by adding an extra month of Adar, then you'll find yourself after a few years with Pesach happening in the wintertime or happening in the fall, because as it moves 11 days per year, the month of Nisan, where Pesach happens, would shift backwards 11 days every year. So the Torah tells us, Shamor, make sure, safeguard that always the Pesach happens in the springtime. And how do you do that? You do that by adding an extra month of Adar 7 times every 19 years. So if we take a 19-year cycle, there'll be 7 times in those 19 years, sometimes every 2 years, sometimes every 3 years, where we're going to add an extra month of Adar. And by adding the extra month of Adar, we're going to make sure that the holiday of Pesach always happens in the springtime. So if after 2 years or 3 years, it moved back 11 days, and now Pesach would happen in a period of the year that would be still kind of wintry, then there's an extra month that is added. The calendar is set for centuries making these adjustments, but at the time of Bet HaMikdash, they used to have a gathering of the High Court, of the Supreme Court, and the Dayanim, the judges, would decide based on the weather, based on the calendar, or how it went, and what's, in terms of the season of the year, when to add that extra month. But now we have it already set 7 times every 19 years. And throughout the year, we have Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the month, is when the moon starts a new cycle. And this Shabbat, we're going to be announcing the new month that will happen in this coming week. The beginning of the month of Elul will be on Monday night, Tuesday and Wednesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday will be Rosh Chodesh, Tuesday being the last day of the month of Av, the 30th of Av, and Wednesday being the 1st of Elul. But both days are considered to be 2 days of Rosh Chodesh. Some months we have 2 days of beginning of the month. The first one being the 30th day of the month before, and the second being the 1st of the following month. When Rosh Chodesh is only 1 day, then the previous month is only 29 days, and the first day of the next month is the day of Rosh Chodesh. This month of Elul that we are about to start is a very special month of the year. It's a month of Teshuvah. This is a month which is known as the month that we say the Slichot. We are going to start saying Slichot on Thursday morning, because this signals, Rosh Chodesh Elul signals the day that Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Shamayim for the third time. The first time he came down after receiving the first tablets of the Torah that he broke. The second time he went up on the 18th of Tammuz, when he went up for the second time, again for 40 days, to ask Hashem for forgiveness. And then he came down, then he went back up on the first day of Elul for the third time, for 40 days, at the conclusion of which, the day of Yom Kippur, being the 40th day, he came down with the second sets of tablets of the Luchot, and this is when Hashem told him, Salachti kidvarech, I forgave, according to, like you asked, and a sign of total forgiveness. Here, here's the other tablets. Pesolecha, Moshe Rabbeinu carved these second tablets and brought them down from Har Sinai after he was in Shamayim for another 40 days. So these 40 days are known as the 40 days of forgiveness. This is when Hashem forgave us. And not only are these days of forgiveness, they're also days that we come closer to Hashem. There's a special connection there. That's why the month of Elul has Rashet Evod, the acronym of a verse from Shir HaShirim, Ani ledodi vedodi li. I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me. And this symbolizes the close relationship between Hashem and Am Yisrael. But here, Ani ledodi, I am for my beloved. I make the first step. I come towards him in teshuvah, in prayer, in correcting wrongs, in improving myself. Vedodi li, and my beloved is for me. Hashem, which is my beloved, has his right hand and his hands extended to me to accept me as I come towards him. So as we start this new period of the year, of the period of the 40 days, beginning with the beginning of the month of Elul, this is a perfect time to do teshuvah. This is a very appropriate time. It's a propitious time that Hashem gave us even extra assistance and help in our wanting to come back to him, in our wanting to do teshuvah. And that begins in the month that we're going to be announcing this Shabbat. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.